Is it our memories that make us who we are? If we lost those, would we be entirely different people? Or is there something in our soul that is essential and unchangeable? My name is Miranda Cardenas, and I'll be talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which delves into the questions I just asked, but I'll get into that later. First, an introduction. Released in 2004, this film was directed by Michel Gondry and starred Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. With story by Gondry, Charlie Kaufman, and Pierre Bismuth, it was nominated for and received many accolades. Most notably, it won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. Eternal Sunshine is a love story in more than one way. It begins with Joel and Clementine meeting, the first blush of attraction, but then it quickly and suddenly seems to jump forward in time to a point where their relationship has fallen apart. Spoiler alert, the film doesn't actually jump forward, but in fact backwards. Joel and Clementine have already met, fallen in love, fallen out of it, and have subsequently chosen to erase the memories of their failed relationship. The non-chronological narrative is interesting to be sure, but let's talk about Gondry's use of mise-en-scène. Joel and Clementine's first scenes establish a color motif. The start of the film has a lot of blue and otherwise somber tones, and this suggests Joel's existence is somewhat lonely and dull. When Clementine first enters the frame, she's wearing a bright orange jacket, the first truly loud color in the film so far. Clementine is a very carefree and impulsive character, and her loud orange jacket brings color to the film the same way she brings color into Joel's life. Even Joel recognizes this, and colors in her jacket in an otherwise black and white drawing of her. As we see through Joel's memories, throughout their relationship, her hair is bright orange. The film makes this color association so strong that as Joel's memories are being erased, we see flashes of orange. Even when she isn't there in person, the color is enough to remind the viewer of her centrality to this moment in the narrative. In the last scene of the mind wipe sequence, which is the memory of their first real meeting, her orange jacket takes center stage again.
You were in that orange sweatshirt that I would come to know so well.
As the memory dims and everything falls apart, she is the only bright point, and this emphasizes how desperately Joel is trying to hold on to his memories of her. Gondry also makes good use of setting and lighting. For instance, when Joel returns to his childhood memories, the set's furniture becomes larger than life to bring across the sense of vulnerability and smallness that comes with being a child. Instead of using a child actor all the time, they choose to have Jim Carrey wear children's clothes, perhaps to signify that even as an adult, these childhood experiences still influence him greatly. The lighting during the mind wipe sequence is also notable. Many scenes are lit with low-key lighting, often with one strong source, and it gives the impression of a searching spotlight. This is appropriate because at this point, Joel has changed his mind about the memory erasure and, along with an imagined representation of Clementine, they are trying to outrun it like fugitives. Editing also plays a great role in creating an atmosphere of surreality and disorientation. The scene where Joel first realizes that he is already undergoing the mind wipe makes use of jump cuts, where the angle changes only slightly and the framing is very similar. This breaks continuity and makes the viewer uncomfortable, which mirrors Joel's own discomfort and disorientation. The editing continues to disregard spatial continuity, with conflicting screen direction within an illogical space. In this scene, Clementine is moving left. However, as Joel follows her, he reaches the destination only to find that she's disappeared, and actually she reappears to his right. Spatial continuity is broken again as she moves off to the right, but exits from the left. This contributes to the surreal atmosphere and reinforces the fact that we are in Joel's dreamscape. Gondry also makes use of match-on action. From lying on the floor, Joel moves into a sitting position, and this movement is completed in an entirely different shot. Here it is used to create fluidity in between scenes, the way dreams tend to flow into each other. These techniques make the film visually interesting, but it is also emotionally grounded. The film explores two sides of the nature versus nurture argument. Joel's flaws and fears are caused by unpleasant childhood memories, and these have affected and shaped who he is. But, on the other hand, it also explores the idea that even without memory, without any idea of who Clementine is, he still feels a connection to her. Some things are inherent. But at the heart of it, I think Eternal Sunshine is about courage. The trip into Joel's psyche reveals that he's a fearful person.
I walked out the door.
Why?
I don't know. I felt like a scared little kid. I was like, it was above my head. I don't know.
He is afraid of being alone, afraid of being humiliated, and I think that's something we can all relate to. But when he and Clementine choose to be together, despite knowing it may not end well, it's a sign of hope and bravery. It lends a very touching and human quality to the film, and this is something that elevates it beyond just aesthetics. This is a film I would definitely recommend, if only because in its exploration of Joel Barish's mind, it encourages the audience to look inwards and think about their own hopes and fears.